My name is Kate Mosse, and my bid for the world's favourite Christie is this one, Sleeping Murder, Miss Marple's Last Mystery. It's billed as the last Miss Marple mystery, but in fact, it was one of the novels that Agatha Christie wrote during the war, and she put it away in a safe so that all her fans would never be deprived of knowing what happened to Miss Marple in the end. And the novel was first published in 1976, posthumously, just after Agatha Christie had died. So it's a little bit out of sequence, but for me, that's one of the things that makes it even more special and beguiling. I love Miss Marple. I think that Poirot gets all the glory, and Miss Marple is one of those exceptional characters in fiction, in that she is an old woman who is there on her own terms, who is not there as somebody's granny or someone rather benign in the corner. And of course she gets to solve the mysteries because old women are overlooked. And the fact that Christie knew this and made her other great hero, if you like, the heroine, I suppose, of the novels, the Marple novels, an old lady, I think is a wonderful little subversive thing that Christie did, and it's sometimes forgotten about. Sleeping Murder is a very modern novel in some ways. It's the story of a young woman, Gwenda Reed, who has come from New Zealand to find a new home for her and her new husband, Giles, in the south coast of England. And she motors down and she comes to this pretty little seaside village on the south coast somewhere. And then she goes to an estate agent and is taken to a house. And the moment she goes into this house, she thinks, this is my house. And she walks around and she thinks, you know, there must be a nursery up here, or there must be a bedroom at the end of this hall, or I bet there are beautiful views down to the sea. And everywhere she goes in the house, she is right, and she knows it's her home. But of course she knows, because in the first 3 years of her life, it turns out that she had lived in that very house with her father, who subsequently died. And as the novel goes on, it becomes a novel about recovered memories, about the shadow of the past, about whether some people might murder once and never murder again. Should you always insist on justice if there is nobody now being harmed? So it's an incredibly modern Christie, if you like, and that's another reason it's my favourite Marple of all my Marples. The final thing, I suppose, is the influence it's had on me as a novelist. It's one of the novels I realised that as a writer, you keep going, and each book you write, you just get a little bit better. And I love the fact that story of this Miss Marple novel put away in the vault during the war, just in case Christie didn't make it through the war. That sense of enormous respect for her readers, knowing that it would be a terrible thing if both Poirot and Marple never got the end of the story that she had written for them. And for that, I think that idea that you respect your reader, I think of all the things I got from Christie as a writer myself, was that. So my vote for the world's favourite Christie is Sleeping Murder. Make it your one too.